The real reason why high achievers and business owners always end up burning out. If you're a successful person, whether you're a career driven person, a high performer, or a business owner of ADHD who's secretly always exhausted and on edge, this video is for you. You might have the best job, the best business, all the accomplishments, all of the family life, all of the boxes on paper ticked on the outside, but yet inside you're barely holding it together. You pull late nights to compensate for lost focus. You say yes to everything to prove that you can handle it, and still you feel like it's not enough. I understand this struggle so well because I've personally lived it. In my 20s, I was a rising professional working 80 hours a week. I was determined to meet everyone's expectations and never let anyone down. I was the king of people pleasing, and it almost broke me. I was anxious, overwhelmed, burnt out, and one setback away from literally losing everything that I literally worked so hard to work for. But here's the truth. Many high achievers and business owners with ADHD are caught in a dangerous burnout cycle without even realizing actually. The more you achieve, the more people expect, and the more you expect of yourself. So you push harder. You stay up until 2, 3 a.m. finishing reports that you procrastinated on. You volunteer for extra projects because you've always been told to live up to your potential. And on the outside, you look driven and successful. But on the inside, you are drowning. You feel like no matter how much you get ahead, you're still somewhat falling behind. But you are not alone here. You see, business owners and high functioning adults with ADHD often feel like they're falling short, always. No level of success ever feels like enough. But every small mistake is like, even like forgetting an email or misplacing a document hits your self-esteem harder than a train, reinforcing the fear that you are an imposter, just faking competence. I remember secretly fearing that one day everyone would realize that I was only pretending to have it together. Why does that happen now? This is the question I'm going to help you solve today. Why do so many accomplished people with ADHD end up burnt out, anxious, or depressed? The real reason isn't a lack of capability or effort. It's the way your ADHD brain is wired and how we cope with these challenges. You see, there's so much research that has shown that adults with ADHD face unique work challenges. We have to spend extra mental energy to accomplish what others do routinely. Thanks to our issues with focus, organization, memory. You see, you might be succeeding externally, but perhaps you're succeeding at a cost. Maybe you're using sheer willpower. Maybe you're drinking 10 coffees a day and living off the caffeine to force that productivity, constantly firefighting to meet deadlines at the last minute. That extra effort is like running a marathon at a sprinter's race. Eventually, you're going to hit a wall. And this is why we need to discuss this today because it's so important. In fact, in 2024, there was actually a study that confirmed that employees with ADHD experience significantly higher job burnout than those without ADHD. And what's the culprit? Our deficits in executive functions, things like time management, organization, mediate this burnout effect. In simple terms, because we struggle to manage time and organize tasks, we end up in a constant state of stress and catch up. We're always playing catch up, which then leads to mental and physical exhaustion. And going to mental and physical exhaustion is the first step to a huge burnout. We overcompensate by working longer and harder to cover for our ADHD related slips, and it's unsustainable, and you know it. Trust me when I tell you, I learned this the hard way. I used to treat every project like an emergency fueled by adrenaline and hyperfocus. I'd get an explosive burst of productivity and impress everyone and then collapse immediately afterwards. That crash isn't just in your head, it can manifest as full burnout or even episodes of depression. I remember coming home after big wins sometimes, just feeling empty, exhausted, just wondering what's wrong with me. I have so much to celebrate. I've done so much. People say that they are inspired by me, but yet I just feel empty. But let me first introduce myself. If you're meeting me for the first time, hi, I'm George. I'm a certified ADHD life coach and an executive practitioner. If you're meeting here for the first time, hi, I'm George. I'm an executive practitioner for the IPHM and a certified ADHD life coach. And I've been a high achieving professional with ADHD for many, many years, most of my life. And I've burnt out badly before. I was the guy who had it all on paper, great career, lovely family, almost nothing to complain about. But I was running on fumes, panic attacks every day, deeply in debt. I was in tens of thousands of pounds in debt. I used to do crazy impulse buys, impulse decisions, things that I knew I would regret, and convinced that I was failing at everything that mattered. My late ADHD diagnosis in my 20s opened my eyes though. But medication alone wasn't the answer I wanted. I set out to truly fix the problem, not just mask it for a few short hours. I was determined that when I found out I was going to be a father, that I was not going to see my son looking at me taking pills every day for the rest of my life. So after a ton of research, reading over 100 books, and a lot of trial and error, with every productivity system under the sun, I discovered how to transform my ADHD from a curse into my biggest superpower. And now I help other high achievers and business owners do the exact same thing that I did so we can all succeed without destroying our health and happiness. All right, let's talk about solutions now. Enough of me. How do you break the ADHD burnout cycle and still perform at your best? That's the question here. And I'm going to share 3 key strategies that changed my life and that of many professionals I coach. These are not just your generic solutions or techniques. Just get more sleep tips, or just do this, or just do that. Basic cliche things that you see on every YouTube video. These are much deeper than that. These are shifts in how you approach work and life with ADHD. So the first key thing is work with your brain, not against it. High achievers with ADHD often try to force themselves into neurotypical routines and end up knackered and drained. Stop beating yourself up for not being disciplined enough by other people's standards. Instead, optimize your environment and tasks for the ADHD mind that you have. For example, if paperwork or emails bore you to tears, you just cannot do it, and you never get things done until the last minute, then try doing them in a more stimulating environment. Play upbeat music, music that you love, that gets you going, music that excites you and that gives you that feeling of happiness. Stand up and pace yourself, or just make it a competition with yourself. That's always a very powerful technique to do. Compete with yourself so you can get better. Use tools and technology to offload what your brain isn't good at. Reminders and color-coded calendars now. They hold the structure in my life, and they hold all the structure that my brain won't. Learn to externalize your executive function. Write things down. Use visual timers. Set alarms for breaks. Don't rely on memory or willpower alone, because that ain't going to hold you. And also, prioritize tasks ruthlessly. Focus on high impact tasks when your brain is most alert. Pro tip for you as well, something that's going to really help you. Align challenging work with your natural dopamine highs. For many, a late morning or a late at night shift where you get loads done is going to be the best approach. Don't just do a 9 to 5. Maybe you work better at 2 in the morning. Maybe you work better at 4 in the morning. You see, when you find out the times that work best for you, that give you the most dopamine, that most energy, your life is going to be so much easier, and you're going to save so much time in the long run. You're going to be able to get so much done. So many tasks, those sluggish tasks they just cannot be bothered to do, you're going to do them. Simply by arranging your day around your brain's rhythm, you get more done with less strain. I used to stay late at the office, trying to force my productivity at 6 p.m. because that's what I thought good workers do. Now, if I hit a wall in the afternoon, I just step away from it or switch to a different kind of task and then return to the tough work, the tough task, whenever my brain is recharged. The quality of my work skyrocketed once I started working with my natural patterns. The second key thing to understand is you need to balance your intensity with recovery. This one is huge, guys. Remember, if you run at 110% all of the time, you will always end up burning out, ADHD or not. But ADHD folks often don't notice that they're redlining until they eventually crash. We hyper-focus on a project, forget to eat, skip sleep, then wonder why we feel like zombies all the time. I want you to treat rest and self-care as non-negotiable maintenance for your brain. Think of it like charging a battery for your car or for something at home. You wouldn't expect your phone, for instance, to run non-stop without recharging it. Your brain is the same. Adequate sleep is foundational to happiness and success and understanding your mind. Lack of sleep actually is known to worsen ADHD symptoms like inattention and emotional regulation. I learned that very much the hard way after countless all-nighters that I used to do. Now, I have a strict bedtime and wind-down routine. And yes, that means sometimes telling my racing mind, hey, enough, shut off, it can wait till the morning. And another thing you need to consider is exercise. Exercise is another extremely powerful tool. Even a single session of exercise can immediately boost your focus and cognitive function. And regular exercise improves mood, executive function in adults with ADHD. And I always used to exercise when I was at my worst, and it used to change my mood instantly. I started taking morning runs, and it was like my medicine for my brain. These moments when I exercised instantly burnt off stress and gave me a hit of dopamine before I even dived into work. Make time for breaks as well during your workday too. It may feel counterintuitive to step away when you have a million and one things to do, but just simply a short break can prevent the exhaustion spiraling. Try the 50-10 rule. 50 minutes of focused work and then just 10 minutes of just stepping away, walking around, doing some stretching, zoning out. Don't think about the work. Protect one day a week or at least an evening as off limits recharge time. No work, minimal obligations, spend it with family, hobbies, or just relaxing. At first, I resisted this to the max. And if you have ADHD and you're a high achieving professional or business owner, you're probably resisting it too, thinking I didn't have time. But when I finally unplugged regularly, I found my productivity on work days actually increased tremendously. Burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a signal to change how you are operating. And the third thing that we need to understand is we need to redefine enough and set boundaries. Enough in quotations. One of the hidden drivers of burnout for ADHD high achievers and business owners is very much psychological. We often carry a lifelong feeling of inadequacy, always trying to prove we're as good as everyone else because early on we got labeled as lazy, sloppy, or not living up to our fullest potential. I'll be honest with you, I still find that imposter syndrome on occasions now, but I've learned to challenge it. You have to start believing that you are enough as a person, regardless of your productivity. That mindset shift is crucial here. Instead of chasing validation through endless achievement, practice acknowledging what you've already accomplished. As much as you think it's forced, it's essential, and you've got to start practicing that. Celebrate even the smallest wins because your ADHD brain will tend to ignore them and fixate on what went wrong if you don't train it to think about what went right. I keep a journal where I write down things I did well each and every single day, no matter how small someone might think it is. For me, I celebrate it because I'm training my mind to see progress, not gaps. Along with this, you've got to start learning how to set healthy boundaries to protect yourself. Learn to say no or just not right now to tasks and projects that you know deep down are going to overload you. Remember, if you keep saying yes to everything and you want to be a people pleaser and overcommit out of fear that you're going to let other people down or you're going to miss out, you're going to end up digging your own grave. Every time that you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And it's often your peace or rest that you are saying no to. It's not selfish to protect your time and energy. It's essential. Communicate with your team or family about what you need. Be very clear and protect your energy. Protect that peace within you. For example, if you need a day just to finish an important task without any interruptions, let them know. Most people will respect your boundaries far more than you expect, especially when they start seeing that you're no longer running yourself to the ground. And instead, you're delivering consistency. Your emotions are getting regulated. You're more balanced. You're calmer. When they see that, they'll be so happy that you've expressed what you actually need. And by setting limits, you're going to eventually prevent that overload that triggers the burnout. Finally, remember this: success with ADHD is a marathon, not a sprint. We have incredible creativity in our minds. We are so imaginative. We have such a crazy, amazing level of drive. ADHD truly is a superpower, but we have to manage it wisely. When I finally applied these strategies, tailoring my work to my brain, prioritizing rest, and setting boundaries, not only did my burnout symptoms instantly fade, but my career and my personal life thrived. I got so much more done in less time. My anxiety levels plummeted and I became a better father and a better husband because I wasn't always irritable or drained. And ADHD didn't go away. I still have the same brain, but I learned to harness it instead of fight it. This is how you turn ADHD into a superpower, by managing the challenges so your strengths can finally shine. And if this resonated with you, like this video, subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be posting new content each week to help you live better with ADHD. And let me know in the comments, have you experienced burnout before, or that never enough type of feeling, and how are you coping with it? I would love to hear your story. And finally, if you're interested in more personalized approaches tailored to you in your life so you can conquer ADHD and turn it into a superpower like I've done and like how I've helped countless people around the world do, then let's just have a conversation. Message me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is George_lifecoach. We could just have a very informal chat just to see what's going on. And sometimes a conversation is all it takes to start your transformation. Remember, you do not have to keep running on empty. Take it from someone who's been there. It can get better when you learn to work with your unique brain. And thanks for watching and take care, and I'll see you in the next video.